Welcome, everyone. I'm glad you're here today. We're about to explore Mega Goal 3.1, Unit 5, with the focus titled, Do You Really Need It? This session will include listening and discussion activities designed to help us think critically about our choices. We'll briefly go over the key ideas and have some engaging conversations along the way. So let's get started. Let's take a closer look at the objectives of today's lesson. First, we want to understand the influence of advertising. We'll explore how ads can shape our opinions and behaviors. Then, we'll focus on specific skills like creating advertisements, answering questions about them, matching words with their correct definitions, and listening carefully for details. We'll also discuss how to find specific information within an ad. These skills are essential for analyzing and understanding advertising messages effectively. Throughout the lesson, we'll connect these points to the broader topic of how advertising impacts us and our choices. So, stay engaged and let's get started. All right, let's take a look at this warm-up activity. Here, we've got a simple exercise where you'll put a check mark, or a next to what you consider a need, and a circle, or next to a want. The idea is to distinguish between what we truly require for our well-being and what might just be desirable but not essential. As you go through each line, think about your own priorities. For example, do you see some items that you really need to function effectively, and others that are more about wants, things that would be nice to have but aren't critical? This activity helps us reflect on how we categorize our needs versus wants, which is a key concept when managing resources, making decisions, or even understanding our motivations. Remember, the goal here is to be honest with yourself. Recognizing the difference between needs and wants is an important step toward making more informed, balanced choices, whether in personal life, in business, or in other areas. So, take your time, and as we go through this, keep in mind that understanding these distinctions will support us throughout the rest of this presentation. Let's take a moment to understand the difference between want and need. The word want is used to mean something desired, but that thing is not essential. In other words, it's something we might like to have, but we can live without it. On the other hand, need means a requirement or an urgent want. It refers to something that is essential, something we really must have to survive or function properly. If we look at the examples here, you'll see that need is associated with things that are necessary, like food or shelter, while want relates to things that are nice to have, like luxury items or entertainment. Recognizing this difference is important because it helps us prioritize what truly matters versus what we simply desire. So, when we think about our goals or decisions, understanding whether we need or want something can guide us to make better choices aligned with our real priorities. This distinction is a key part of managing our resources and making responsible decisions overall. Do you really need it? That's the key question we're exploring today. It's a simple question, but it prompts us to think deeply about our motives and choices. When we ask ourselves this, we become more mindful about why we want something and whether it's truly necessary. This kind of reflection can help us make smarter decisions, both in our personal lives and at work. And as we go through this presentation, keep this question in mind, because understanding our needs versus wants is a big part of developing better habits. So let's dive in with that mindset asking, do I really need it? To help us become more intentional in our choices. Let's take a moment to look at this slide titled Read Picture Strategy. Here, we have a series of images: sneakers, spring water, laundry detergent, floral shampoo, and a sports car. Now, what does each picture show? First, the sneakers. They might represent comfort, activity, or casual wear. Next, the spring water. This one could symbolize purity, refreshment, or natural products. Moving on to laundry detergent, obviously related to cleaning and freshness. The floral shampoo suggests personal care, beauty, or fragrance. Lastly, the sports car often stands for speed, luxury, or performance. The key point here is that each picture communicates a specific idea or product. When we read these images carefully, we can understand how visuals tell stories or convey messages without words. This is essential in marketing and branding, because images can quickly evoke emotions or associations. Connecting this to our overall theme, understanding how to interpret pictures allows us to craft more compelling visuals and better analyze what others are communicating. It's about recognizing the power of imagery to convey messages succinctly and effectively. So, when we look at advertising and consumer products, what do you think the lesson will be about? Well, I want you to start thinking about how advertising influences what we buy and how companies create products that appeal to us. This section is really about understanding the relationship between marketing messages and our purchasing decisions. We'll explore how advertisements are designed to attract our attention, evoke emotions, and persuade us to choose one product over another. It's also about seeing how consumer products are crafted to meet our needs and desires, often in response to the advertising strategies used. Overall, this ties into the bigger picture of how marketing shapes our consumer culture and influences our choices every day. So, when you want to buy something, do you ever stop and ask yourself why you're making that choice? It's a common question, but it's also a really important one. Asking yourself, this helps you understand your own motivations. Are you driven by need, desire, or maybe impulse? It also encourages you to think about whether that purchase truly adds value to your life. This kind of questioning ties into the larger theme of mindful decision-making. Instead of just reacting to marketing or emotions, being aware of why we want something can lead to smarter, more intentional choices. So, next time you're about to make a purchase, take a moment and ask yourself, what's really behind this? It's a simple step, but it can make a huge difference in how you approach buying and managing your resources. So, what is the main purpose of advertisements? Well, at its core, advertising is all about making people buy things. It's about capturing your attention and convincing you that you need or want a product or service. Essentially, the goal is to influence your decision-making process, to turn your interest into a purchase. Advertisements are designed to communicate the benefits of a product, create a desire for it, and make it stand out from the competition. They often appeal to our emotions, aspirations, or even our fears to persuade us. Remember, this ties into the overall theme of how advertising shapes consumer behavior. It's not just about informing you, but about influencing you in subtle, strategic ways to choose one product over another. So, behind every ad, there's a purpose: getting people to buy things. So, do you think you are influenced by advertisement? It's a question worth pondering because, honestly, most of us are more affected by ads than we realize. Advertisements are everywhere, on TV, online, on social media, and they're designed to catch our attention and influence our choices. But how much of what we buy or the brands we prefer are actually shaped by these ads? That's where the key point comes in. Advertising isn't just about informing us, it's about persuading us, often subtly. They use emotions, visuals, and persuasive language to create associations that can influence our perceptions and decisions. This connects directly to our overall theme of understanding consumer behavior and the power of marketing. Recognizing this influence helps us become more conscious consumers, questioning whether our preferences are truly ours or shaped by clever advertising strategies. So, next time you see an ad, think about whether it's influencing you, because awareness is the first step toward making more informed choices. Sure, here's the word-by-word narrative script for slide 11. When I think about memorable or effective advertisements, one that really stands out is the Dove Real Beauty campaign. What makes it so impactful is how it challenges traditional beauty standards and connects emotionally with viewers. It's not just about selling soap, it's about promoting self-confidence and authenticity. This ad uses real people instead of models, which helps viewers relate and see themselves in the message. It's a perfect example of how an advertisement can go beyond just products and really resonate with an audience. This connects to our overall theme today about the power of emotional engagement in advertising. When ads evoke genuine feelings, they leave a lasting impression and build trust with consumers. Everyone will watch and admire you. When you take the wheel of this car, it's not just about driving, it's about making a statement. Imagine the impression you'll leave behind, turning heads wherever you go. So, what will happen if you drive this car? Well, you'll experience a fast, beautiful sports car that combines power and elegance. It's designed to capture attention and elevate your confidence. Now, you might be wondering, what kind of car is this? It's a perfect blend of speed, style, and sophistication, an icon of performance and luxury. This connects to our overall theme of embracing excellence and standing out in everything you do. This slide highlights some really exciting benefits of using this shampoo. First, it makes your hair twice as strong, which is a huge advantage for anyone looking to reduce breakage and improve hair health. It also provides protection against environmental factors like wind and sun, which can be quite damaging over time. When you use this shampoo regularly, your hair will not only be stronger but also shinier and more resilient. Now you might be wondering, what do the scientific studies actually show? Well, the research confirms that these effects are real, scientifically proven even. And if you start using this shampoo, you can expect to see your hair become healthier, more protected, and with that beautiful shine that everyone desires. Overall, it aligns perfectly with our goal of maintaining and enhancing hair health naturally and effectively. Because it contains more cleaning power, this detergent is able to tackle even the toughest stains. You know, those stubborn marks that seem impossible to remove? Well, with this formula, they actually come out. So, what exactly can this detergent do? It's designed to lift and eliminate dirt and grime more effectively than standard options. And that's why it's better than others, because it delivers superior cleaning performance, saving you time and effort. When choosing a cleaning product, it's all about knowing it can handle the worst stains and keep your space looking fresh. That's the real advantage here. What makes Crystal's spring water truly special is that it is all natural with no additives whatsoever. When you think about it, this means you're getting pure water straight from nature, without any artificial ingredients or chemicals. It's like capturing the essence of a pristine Swiss mountain stream. Speaking of which, the Swiss mountain backdrop isn't just for show. It's a key part of what makes this water so unique. The pure, crisp environment ensures the water remains clean and fresh. Now, you might wonder, what else sets it apart? Well, it's also good for the environment. Sustainable sourcing and eco-friendly practices are central to how we bring you this water, so you can feel good about your choice. And where does it come from? It originates from protected, untouched natural springs in the Swiss Alps, which are renowned for their purity. So, how is Crystal spring water different from other bottled waters? It's because of this combination of natural purity, environmental responsibility, and the pristine Swiss origins. These factors all come together to offer you a product that's not only refreshing, but also aligned with a healthy, eco-conscious lifestyle. Let's talk about the NBA, which stands for the National Basketball Association. It's a league composed of professional basketball teams, primarily from the United States, but it also includes one team from Canada. This league is really the top level of basketball competition in North America. Now, a culture note worth mentioning is that NBA players are known for running faster, jumping higher, and performing better than almost anyone else. Their sneakers are specially designed to help them achieve those incredible feats. So, who wears these sneakers? Well, an NBA star, of course. These athletes push the limits of what's possible on the court, and their sneakers are a big part of that. And if you wear these sneakers, what could you do? Well, based on what NBA players do, run faster, jump higher, and perform better, you might feel like you can do more on the court too. It's a fun way to connect the idea that with the right gear, you can unlock your potential and maybe even feel like a star yourself. All right, let's do a quick check to see if we've grasped the key points. As we review the letters, E, B, A, C, F, G, D, think about how each one connects to the big picture. Remember, this slide is about reinforcing what we've learned so far, so I want you to focus on understanding how these elements fit together. If something seems unclear, now's a good moment to clarify before we move on. The goal here is to ensure we're solid on the fundamentals, so we can build on them confidently. Keep this in mind as we proceed, and feel free to ask questions if anything comes up. I believe the ad for the BMX 3000 sports car stands out the most because it really captures my attention and makes me want to buy one. It's not just about showcasing the car's features, it's about creating an emotional connection. The visuals, the sound, and the overall message work together to make it memorable. This highlights how effective advertising can influence our desires and perceptions. Connecting this to the overall theme, it shows how powerful well-crafted ads are in shaping consumer interest and driving sales. All right, for your homework, please work on exercise A on page 269 in your workbook. This will help reinforce what we've covered today and give you a chance to apply these concepts practically. Remember, completing this exercise is important because it solidifies your understanding and prepares you for the next steps in your learning journey. Take your time, focus on the key points we've discussed, and don't hesitate to revisit any part of the lesson if you need a refresher. I look forward to seeing your progress next time.